And now, out of context, emotional reactions about Infinity Wars from Purry Bell.
Oh my gosh, they killed him already? No! Oh, they are such a cute couple. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my gosh! They couldn't end it like that. No!
Hey there, ghosts and ghouls, Warlock Boo here, and today I will be reviewing the newest movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Avengers: Infinity War. Now, the first half of this review will be completely safe for you to watch. I will give you a warning around midway that I will do a spoiler part of the review, but I will warn you before I do and give plenty of in part. That way you don't hear it, and if you want to just click off then, you can. Now, Avengers Infinity War, it has been waited for about 10 years, I've heard. 2 years from other people. It is the whole set of what everything has been building to in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What they've hinted at with Thanos, the Infinity Gems, all of that, all the heroes coming together for the biggest battle they've ever had. Now, the movie of itself is so amazing. The characters are portrayed so well. This movie, though, does have a slight problem with having so many characters it has to portray. So many are in it, but they have to have screen time for everyone. So there is a slight feeling of clutter. But at the same time, it's easy to forget about because every character has a minute on screen. Every character shows off what they can do. Even side characters get nice little things. And no one feels underutilized. Everyone feels like they've been used to their fullest potential. And when they're not in a scene, they basically let you know why. Also, if you haven't seen some of the previous movies, this really does help, actually. They drop little things like, in Civil War, spoiler for Civil War, we know what happened. Iron Man and Captain America had the falling out. Well, Iron Man basically tells Hulk that I can't call Captain America because we've had a falling out. That basically is all you need to know. It doesn't go into deep on what happened before, but they say it in little quick things that catch you up within a sentence. And it's such a nice thing. They mention Iron Man 3 about him having the pieces of metal going towards his heart surgically removed. Why does he still have the arc reactor? He says, "Oh, this isn't it. It's da-da-da-da." And they go into little bits like this, and it works so well. Characters play off each other really well too. You get to see characters you always wanted to see interact. We get to see Doctor Strange and Iron Man interact, and they don't get along, which is perfect because they're so similar. They shouldn't get along. We see Star-Lord and Iron Man interact. We see Thor and the Guardians interact. We see just all these interactions that work really good, and it's funny. And some of the interactions will really surprise you, and I'll leave that for my spoiler half, but I'm not going to talk about that now. How are the villains, though? All movies need a great villain to push it forward. And one thing in Marvel, they have the villain of the week style going. The movie has a villain, but the one that really stands out are the Thor villains, Loki and Hela. That they were interesting. No one else, and Red Skull was interesting, but after that, we really don't have interesting villains in the Marvel, just side nicks and stuff. But how are the villains in this? They are great. The henchmen have that kind of villain of the week flavor, because Thanos does bring a bunch of henchmen to the party. He has one guy that's like a zealous priest who preaches Thanos' words, how his killings are a mercy, how you may feel pain, but it is a mercy in the end with what he is doing for you. You have a woman who is very aggressive, she's like the general who controls and tells them what to do. You got one big guy who's more the big brute, and then you have one guy that I kind of don't know a lot about. He was interesting, neat fighter, but had some lines, but they doesn't really do much with him. But the end, it's about the big villain. How was Thanos? Oh, I want to say a lot on Thanos on this, but I'll have to wait till the spoiler half. Thanos is amazing. I love comic books, but Thanos has never been a bad guy that interests me. He's always boring. He feels like a ripoff of Darkseid. I don't like him in the comics. It's fun to watch him fight, but he's boring. In this, they make Thanos amazing. Not just a brute. Not just a powerhouse. He's tactical. He's manipulative to a degree. You see so much into his mind. I think I like him better than Loki. And I like Loki. This guy was amazing. But I gotta save some of that for my spoiler part. Alright. How was the music? Music matched every scene perfectly. Or lack of, which is a hint for something that those of you that have seen the movie will understand. The music works perfect. There's a scene where Thanos is walking, and every step the music is making that loud bass drum slowly, and as Thanos starts walking faster, it starts picking up the beat, and it feels like the earth's shaking as this music's going while he walks. It's such a great soundtrack on this. Little disappointed Iron Man doesn't play any more AC/DC songs. I love when he does that, but he doesn't. But the orchestra stuff was just mind-blowing. It was perfect. How is this so emotionally? They had so many highs and lows in this movie. Not lows like, oh, it was horrible. No, lows like, oh my God, really? Like, emotionally. As you saw in my beginning, then with Puri testing them out for you. Oh, but that's really all I can say right now. This movie is amazing. The CGI is amazing. The music is amazing. The story is amazing. The only downside is too many characters, but even at the end, it's still amazing. The fight scenes. There are a lot of fight scenes in this movie. Everyone gets a second to shine in them. Black Widow. They really utilize her in this. They really have her taking on people. Scarlet Witch is used to full potential. The fight scenes are great, but they're never too many. You have a lot of fight scenes, but at the same time, you have a lot of plot moving forward and dialogue moving forward, and nothing outweighs the other, and it's great. You see so much in this, and it is so good for that. I give this my fully watch this damn movie. And, okay, if you like this video, subscribe, like, all that stuff. I'm about to do the spoilers, so I'm doing an outro for you guys that don't want to hear the spoilers. This has been Warlock Boo, hoping to be spooking you all later. Wahaha. So click off in 3, 2, 1. Are they gone? Are you guys gone? All right. Now it's spoiler territory. You've been warned. This movie. Oh, where to start on the spoilers? In the first 10 minutes, someone dies. Oh my God. 2 big names die. First person, Loki dies. And so does the guy with the golden eyes that can see everything. I was saying his name all day yesterday, crying about it. Can't remember his name today. They die. Though Hulk is pulled up. The first part shows how powerful Thanos is. You get a line from Loki that is such a throwback, where Thanos is gonna kill Thor if Loki doesn't give him the Tesseract. And Loki goes, okay, but I have to tell you, we have a Hulk. And then Hulk just plows into Thanos. And I love that throwback. But the thing is, Thanos dismantles the Hulk like it's nothing. Not just overpowers him. He's hitting him with quick kidney shots. Hitting him on the side of the head, the side, dodging around his attacks, like doing boxing moves on the Hulk and dismantling him like he's nothing. It is beautiful to watch. This guy isn't just a powerhouse. He's tactical. He knows how to fight. And when I saw that moment right then, I knew the movie had a bad guy that would be great. Now, how though is Thanos as a bad guy? Really deeply into how is Thanos. Oh, he's amazing. You don't just have this guy that wants to kill half the universe for shits and giggles. They had to change it from Lady Death, but he's doing it as a mercy. He sees what he is doing as salvation. Half the universe has to die so half can live. It's balance. It's just nature. Think about when the forest is overgrown and the government has to do a controlled burn so the forest doesn't get too dense and burn the whole thing later. That's what he sees he's doing. He describes it. He talks about it. He shows so much conviction for it. You almost feel like he could be right. And then what really pushes him is he kidnaps I can't say anyone's name today. Sorry. His daughter, the green one. And she knows where the Soul Stone is, it turns out. So he makes her take him. And you see Red Skull again. Not in a literal. Turns out the Tesseract took him to guard the Soul Stone. He has been there for lifetimes, he said. He is so much more than just a bad guy now. He is just sad. He is sorrowful. He has seen things now. Horrifying things. It's amazing. Well, they show him where the Soul Stone should be, and Red Skull tells him, you must sacrifice what you love to get the Soul Stone. And she's laughing. His daughter's laughing like, you don't love anything. Yeah. And Thanos turns around, and there's tears in his eyes. He's legitimately crying. And she said, oh, are you crying because you can't get the stone? And Red Skull says, they're not tears for him. And right then it clicks with why he's crying. And she goes to kill herself to stop him from getting it, but he has the reality stone and stops her from it, grabs her and throws her off the edge and cries as she dies. He wakes up off the mountain in the water holding the Soul Stone. But this thing shows him in such a different light. There's also a scene where you see a flashback of how he got his daughter. Her hiding with her mother. And her getting lost, separated from her mother during the fight, and running into Thanos by accident. Thanos asks her, what are you doing out here? And she says, looking for my mother. And instead of standing tall, he kneels down to her level and talks to her. And tells her, oh, come with me. I'll help you, look. And she does. And he shows her a knife and shows her how to balance it in this trick. And as half her people are being split and half is being shot. And he distracts her so she doesn't see those people being killed. And then takes her hand and takes her as his daughter. That is a side to Thanos no one thought we'd see. We thought he'd just be this mad tyrant. No. You see him talking to a child as you should, leaning down to their level, distracting them so they don't see the horror behind them. Thanos is such a touching bad guy in this. And at the end, he was asked, what are you going to do when you do this? He says, once it's done, I will find a place, watch the sunset, and smile. I know I have done the universe a mercy. Oh my God, but at the same time, you want the heroes to win. There is so much hope. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. And the heroes are trying and trying. But every turn of the way, he is getting another Infinity Stone and another and another. The only two at the end he doesn't have is time and mind. And there's a scene, well, Doctor Strange has said, I have seen all the universes that could happen, everything that could happen, and on only one of those 2,500 realities, we win. And at the end, when Thanos is about to kill Iron Man, Doctor Strange gives him the Time Stone to save Iron Man. And after that, you get the big Wakanda battle. That scene where Cap's holding the glove back, but then he just does what I figured he'd do, backhands him with the other hand. And there's such an emotional part where Scarlet Witch has to kill Vision to destroy the Mind Stone. She does it. And Thanos looks at her and says, I know what you've gone through, but time doesn't matter. And snaps his finger and reverses time to resurrect the Vision. Rips the stone out and gets it. He has all 6 Infinity Stones at the end of this goddamn movie. And what does he do? You see Thor slam him into the chest with the axe. And Thanos laughs and said, you should have hit my head. And snaps. He wins. At the end of the movie, he wins. It is the most emotional scene. You see heroes go, I don't feel good, and disintegrate into dust. You see Winter Soldier. You see Black fucking Panther, their highest grossing movie they've ever made, disintegrate into dust. You see nearly everyone, all the Guardians, Groot, Star-Lord, Mantis, dust. Doctor Strange, dust. Rocket's the only Guardian left. It's easier to say who doesn't die, but they kill off the one character I thought would survive. Spider-Man dies in Iron Man's arms. Spider-Man sounds like a scared child. I don't feel good. I don't want to die. Please help me. And disintegrates in Iron Man's arms. Iron Man is now left alone on an alien planet, Titus. Thanos is gone. He's disappeared to watch the sunset. The only heroes that are alive are Iron Man, Captain, Black Widow, Thor, Nebula, the High Guard of Wakanda. Well, she's not really a hero, but she was in the war. Rocket is alive still. Everyone else is dead. We, at the end credit scene, see Nick Fury disintegrate, right when he's making the call to Captain Marvel. This movie is the revenge of the Sith of the Marvel Universe. They lose, and they lose goddamn hard. This movie had balls. It had serious balls to end the way it does. But I have to see the sequel. I need to know what happened, and that is brilliant on their part. They make you want to know what is going to happen. I don't know how the other movies can stand next to this that are coming out next. We got Ant-Man and Wasp. Either that has to happen before or while all this is happening. And maybe at the Ant-Man and Wasp, we'll see them disintegrate. We got Captain Marvel, which is a prequel coming out, where we're going to see young Nick Fury and stuff. And I don't know how they can end this. I don't know how they can save everyone. Unless they get the Infinity Gauntlet and use it to correct everything. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And I want to know what's going to happen. So much happens in this. It's just amazing. I know I have skipped so much. So many interactions, but so much has happened. And I'm almost on 20 minutes now. So I'll let you guys see it. But you have to watch this. This is probably the best Marvel movie I have ever seen. Everything is perfect. Everything is right. Watch this movie. You will not regret it. Watch it now. Watch it on DVD, Blu-ray, however. But but you have to watch this movie if you are a comic book fan. Not just a Marvel fan, a comic book fan. DC fans, watch this movie and tell DC they need to be smarter with their movies. I prefer DC Comics, but DC has been stupid with their movies. They need to plan it out like Marvel is and need to listen to the backlash on their movies. Don't defend your movie if it's bad. Tell them what was wrong with it and let DC listen to you. That's why Marvel started doing better and better and better, because they're listening. They're listening to the people complaining and they're trying to fix it. We need DC to do this. We need to jump on DC's back and make them do this. But until then, this has been Warlock Boo, hoping to be spoken y'all later. Bye.